हाँ, तो कल फोन आ गया था, आवाज बात नहीं करता। So, welcome to our NMR spectroscopy topic. Today we are going to see nuclear magnetic resonance. Here NMR stands for nuclear, M stands for magnetic, and R stands for resonance. Resonance. As you know, nucleus of an atom, it consists of protons and neutrons, except normal isotope of hydrogen, where only proton is present. Now these protons and neutrons, they spins on its own axis. Therefore, they induce magnetic field. Because of spinning of either proton or neutron, it generates magnetic field and it behaves like a spinning magnet. Spinning magnet. And some energy is associated with it. Now, when this proton or neutron, it is spinning, then it can give the spin to the nucleus. It can give provided either proton or neutron or both of them, they are unpaired. So in this nucleus, suppose we are having one proton. It is rotating on its own axis. Another proton which is present there, it will be rotating in anti-clockwise manner. So if they are in even number, then the effect of one will be nullified by the second. So the net result will be zero. The effect will be zero because one is spinning in clockwise manner, another one is spinning in the anti-clockwise manner. So suppose that one is having north pole up and S pole down. In the another case, S will be up and N will be down. So opposite will be there. Therefore, the net result will be zero. So in that case, the spin caused by the protons will be zero. So the necessary condition for nuclear spin is that either proton or neutron or both of them should be unpaired. Those which are having paired protons and paired neutrons, they will be having zero nuclear spin. Now, number of protons, it is denoted by atomic number Z, while number of proton plus neutron, it is given by mass number. Mass number. Now if we subtract protons, so it will give the total number of neutrons. So we can say that when a nucleus is having atomic number E1 and atomic mass or mass number also E1, in that condition proton as well as neutron both will be E1. So it is E1, it is also E1. So the net nuclear spin will be nuclear spin is given by I. So I is equal to 0. So those nuclei which are having nuclear spin as I is equal to 0, magnetic is equal to 0. Therefore, those will be not having nuclear spin. Those which are having either atomic number odd or atomic mass odd, then those will be having nuclear spin. For example, so atomic number is odd. Atomic number is odd. Mass number, it is either odd or even. It means that number of protons, they will be odd, and mass number will be either odd or even, means number of neutrons, it may be odd or it may be even. In either case, the nucleus will be having I is equal to 1 by 2, 3 by 2, half integral. Now, when atomic number is E1, atomic number is E1, and mass number, atomic number is E1, and mass number is odd, then it will be having the value of I is equal to half integer, that is 1 by 2, 3 by 2, 5 by 2, etc. Next case is when atomic number is odd and mass number is even. It means that number of protons are odd and number of neutrons are also odd. In that case, the value of I is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on. That is complete integer. So we can place them in 3 categories, where some of the nuclei which will be having atomic number odd and mass number even. That is the first category. Second category is where atomic number is even as well as mass number is also even, means both are even. And third one is where atomic number is even and mass number is odd. And lastly here here odd, and it is also odd. Atomic number is odd, mass number is also odd. As this category where atomic number as well as mass number they are even, then it will be having I is equal to 0. Therefore, they are NMR inactive. So necessary condition is that the value of I, it should not be equal to 0. So those nuclei which are having atomic number even and mass number is also even, means number of protons as well as number of neutrons, they are even, then they will be having I is equal to 0. Therefore, they are NMR inactive. Remaining three categories will be, they are NMR active. Now, when atomic number is even, mass number is odd, then it will be having half integer, 1 by 2, 3 by 2, 5 by 2, and so on. Similarly, when atomic number is odd, mass number is also odd, again it will be having the value of I is equal to, so in both cases it will be having I is equal to, for the category number first here, odd atomic number and mass number is even, means number of protons they are odd in number, number of neutron is equal to also odd. So in that case, neutron and proton both are odd and odd, therefore the mass number is even. So in that case, the value of I is equal to the complete integer 1, 2, 3, etc. So it means that it is non-zero, therefore it is NMR active, as well as it is non-zero, that is why it is also NMR active. Now, we are having different nuclei. We will see one by one. Suppose we are having hydrogen. Hydrogen atomic number 1, mass number is 1, both 1, 1. It is also odd. It is also odd. It comes in this category here. It comes in this category where I is equal to 1 by 2, 3 by 2, and so on. So category, it is half integral. So therefore, it is NMR active. Then comes nitrogen. Atomic number 7 and mass number 14. Here atomic number, that is Z is equal to 7 and mass number is 14. So 14 minus 7 is equal to 7. So it means that number of neutrons are 7, number of protons are also 7, that is odd and odd. So odd and odd, both are odd and odd. So here odd even number, this category. So the its I value of I, the spin quantum number is I is equal to here complete integer. So here it is belonging to category 1, 5, 3 and so on. So this category, it belongs to this category. Is it clear? So 1, 5, this category. Therefore, it will be NMR active, but it will be different as compared to proton. Now then it comes to nitrogen 15, the isotope of nitrogen. So in this case, the atomic number is 7 and mass number is 15. So it is having even number of neutron and odd number of protons, 7 and 8. Therefore, it will be having half integer. It will be having a value half integer. Therefore, it will be NMR active. C612, that is carbon. Carbon. Atomic number 6, mass number 12. Means here it is even, it is also even. So it will belongs to this category, that is even and even. Mass number, atomic number, both are even. Therefore, it will be having I is equal to 0. It is having I is equal to 0. Therefore, it is NMR inactive. Means it will not have nuclear spin. So it will not give NMR spectra. Then comes here fluorine 9 and 19. Here 9 protons and 10 neutrons. Therefore 19, that is 19 number of proton. Means here odd and here even. So it will have half integer. Therefore I is equal to half integer. Therefore it will be NMR active. NMR active. Then oxygen. Atomic number 8 and 16. So atomic number 8 and atomic mass number 16. In this case, number of protons they will be 8 and number of neutrons they will also be 8. Means here it is odd number, it is also odd, sorry, it is even number, it is also even number, both are even number, and therefore the result is mass number is even. Therefore it will have I is equal to 0. It will be having I is equal to 0. Therefore it will be NMR. So we cannot have NMR spectra of normal isotope of oxygen. Then we will go for the next one. The next one is carbon isotope with atomic number 6 and mass number 13. So it means that it will be having proton 6 and neutrons 7. So it will be having mass number, that is total 13. So mass number is odd, atomic number is even. So it is even and it is odd. Therefore it will have I is equal to half integer. So it will be having, it will be showing NMR activity. It will be NMR active. It will have nuclear spin. So when these type of nuclei, when they are placed in between strong magnetic field, then their nuclear spin, it will be either aligned or it will be opposed to the, so it will be opposed to the applied magnetic field. It means that it was previously having some magnetic energy. So that energy level, it will split into two energy levels. One will be of the lower energy level. That will be lower energy level. It is shown by alpha spin. It is called as alpha spin. It is the lower energy state. And second one is the higher energy state. It is called as beta spin. It is denoted by plus half. It is shown by minus half. So it is plus half and here it is minus half. So when in spinning nuclei is placed in a strong magnetic field, then its magnetic energy level, it will split into two levels. One will be lower, another one will be higher. This difference this gap between the lower and the higher energy level, that will be depending upon the power or strength of applied magnetic field. जितना पावरफुल रहेगा अप्लाइड मैग्नेटिक फील्ड उतना ज्यादा वो गैप रहेगा, और अगर जो अप्लाइड मैग्नेटिक फील्ड अगर वीक रहेगी तो उसके अंदर भी वो डिफरेंस कम रहेगा. सो इट इज शोन बाय दिस एरो, इजंट इट? तो इस तरह से ये इंक्रीज होता जा रहा है ना. यहाँ पर ये गैप, यहाँ पर कम पावर का है तो यहाँ पे गैप कम है दोनों के बीच में, यहाँ पर गैप ज्यादा है. मीन्स जैसे जैसे स्ट्रेंथ बढ़ती जाएगी इसके, जैसे ये अगर हम ऐसे करें, यहाँ पर ये एक्स एक्सिस, इसके ऊपर एक्स एक्सिस के ऊपर हमने लिया यहाँ पे स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ अप्लाइड फील्ड, और यहाँ पर लिया हमने डिफरेंस स्प्लिटिंग या डेल्टा ई वैल्यू ले यहाँ पर, द डिफरेंस इन द एनर्जी ऑफ लोअर एंड हायर एनर्जी लेवल. तो ये यहाँ पर इंक्रीज होता है. सो ये जैसे जैसे यहाँ पर स्ट्रेंथ बढ़ती जा रही, यहाँ पे एचओ की स्ट्रेंथ बढ़ती जा रही, तो उसका भी गैप जो है वो इंक्रीज होते जा रहा, लोअर एनर्जी हायर एनर्जी. सो दे विल बी स्प्लिटिंग. सो इन द नॉर्मल कंडीशन द मोर पॉपुलेटेड state will be the lower spin, lower energy, that is alpha spin. Means here यहाँ पर नॉर्मल केस के अंदर जो न्यूक्लियर रहेंगे वो अल्फा स्पिन स्टेट के अंदर ज्यादा रहेंगे, और उसका पॉपुलेशन लोअर एनर्जी लेवल के ऊपर यानी अल्फा स्टेट के अंदर ज्यादा रहेगा, और बीटा स्टेट के अंदर कम रहेगा. अगर हम यहाँ पर ये जो न्यूक्लियर है, इस न्यूक्लियाई को एनर्जी सप्लाई करते हैं, एनर्जी सप्लाई करते हैं रेडियो फ्रीक्वेंसी के फॉर्म में, आरएफ फ्रीक्वेंसी, रेडियो फ्रीक्वेंसी के फॉर्म में, रेडियो फ्रीक्वेंसी के फॉर्म में. अगर हम इसको एनर्जी सप्लाई करते हैं तो दिस न्यूक्लियाई विच आर इन अल्फा स्टेट, स्पिन स्टेट, सो इट विल एब्सॉर्ब द एनर्जी and it will jump to the higher energy level. यानी वो यहाँ पर न्यूक्लियर जो रहेगा वो एनर्जी एब्जॉर्ब करने के बाद में, यहाँ से रेडियो एब्जॉर्ब करने के बाद it will jump from lower energy level to higher. So it is called as flipping of nucleus. Nucleus, flipping of nucleus means alpha state से beta state के अंदर by absorbing the radio waves. Means energy, so it will be stated. ये जो डिफरेंस है अल्फा स्पिन स्टेट एंड बीटा के अंदर, दोनों के अंदर जो एनर्जी डिफरेंस है, ये एनर्जी डिफरेंस के बराबर अगर एनर्जी रेडियो फ्रीक्वेंसी से मिलने वाली एनर्जी एब्जॉर्ब करता है तो इट विल बी फ्लिपिंग फ्रॉम लोअर टू हायर. सो वी कैन से दैट द न्यूक्लियस इज इन रेजोनेंस स्टेट. कब बोलेंगे हम? जब ये दोनों के एनर्जी जो गैप है, एनर्जी लेवल में जो डिफरेंस है, ये डिफरेंस डेल्टा ई, डिफरेंस इन एनर्जी, ये दोनों के बराबर अगर वो एनर्जी एब्जॉर्ब करके रेडियो फ्रीक्वेंसी से, रेडियो वेव से एनर्जी हासिल करके लोअर स्टेट से हायर पे जाएगा तो हम उसको बोलेंगे कि न्यूक्लियस इन इज ए रेजोनेंस स्टेट. सो इन रेजोनेंस स्टेट. सो इस तरह से लोअर से आएगा. अब ये हायर से अगर लोअर पे आना है तो इट विल डिसिपेट एनर्जी इन द फॉर्म ऑफ आइदर नॉन रेडिएक्टिव फॉर्म और अदर वेज. सो इट विल बी बीटा से अल्फा पे आने के लिए इट विल रिलीज द एनर्जी, और अल्फा से बीटा पे आने के लिए इट विल एब्जॉर्ब द एनर्जी. सो इन दैट वे देयर विल बी फ्लिपिंग ऑफ प्रोटॉन्स और न्यूक्लियस विल टेक प्लेस. नाउ ये जो डेल्टा ई है एनर्जी, डेल्टा ई एनर्जी, ये कैलकुलेट करने के लिए एक फार्मूला है डेल्टा ई. इट इज इक्वल टू एच गैमा गैमा एच ओ, गैमा एच ओ divided by 2 pi. By using this equation, we can calculate the difference between alpha and beta spin states. ये दोनों के बीच में जो डिफरेंस एनर्जी, ये कैलकुलेट करने के लिए फॉर्मूला है एच गैमा एच ओ डिवाइडेड बाय एच जीरो डिवाइडेड बाय 2 pi HO or H0. H is the Planck's constant. H is the Planck's constant. Planck's constant. Gamma, it is called as gyromagnetic ratio. ये एक न्यूक्लियस की प्रॉपर्टी है, ये फिक्स होता है फॉर पर्टिकुलर न्यूक्लियस. प्रोटॉन के लिए अलग रहेगा, C13 के लिए अलग रहेगा एंड सो ऑन. देन HO ये फिक्स है न्यूक्लियस के ऊपर, इट इज अ न्यूक्लियर प्रॉपर्टी. HO it is the strength of applied field, strength of applied field, strength of applied field, strength of applied field. 2 and pi, they are, 2 is the numerical, that is fixed. Pi is having the value as 3.142. Pi, it is also fixed. Therefore, we can say that delta E is proportional to HO, that is the strength of applied magnetic field. Now, we also know that delta E is nothing but H nu. H nu. Therefore, first equation, here it is the second equation. So equating these equation first and two, we will get here H nu is equal to H gamma H0 by 2 pi. Here H will get cancelled. So nu, that is the frequency, is equal to gamma HO divided by 2 pi. So using this we can have the radio frequency कितनी है ये सिलेक्ट करने में हमको सहूलत रहेंगे, इसके ऊपर से हम कैलकुलेट करें. सो फ्रीक्वेंसी कितनी रिक्वायर्ड है रेडियो वेव की, इट इज कैलकुलेटेड बाय दिस इक्वेशन. तो इस तरह से ये हो गया आपका यहाँ पर. नाउ अब इसके लिए जो इंस्ट्रूमेंट हम यूज करेंगे, दैट इंस्ट्रूमेंटेशन में सबसे पहले एक लेंगे कि एक स्ट्रॉन्ग मैग्नेटिक फील्ड. इट इज स्ट्रॉन्ग मैग्नेट्स आर देयर, strong magnets. Suppose it is N है तो ये S रहेगा, S है तो N है, वॉट एवर मे बी द केस. इसके बीच में यहाँ पर एक सैंपल ट्यूब रहेगा, दैट विल बी नैरो ट्यूब जिसके अंदर हम यहाँ पे सैंपल लेंगे. इसके अतराफ में है तो यहाँ पर एक कॉइल रहेगा, दैट इज रेडियो फ्रीक्वेंसी सोर्स से जुड़ा रहेगा. RF रेडियो फ्रीक्वेंसी सोर्स से रेडियो फ्रीक्वेंसी. दूसरे यहाँ पर
कुर्सी पे बैठा करो ना, तुम वैसे बैठ जाते, टेगा लेके बैठो, आराम दो ना तेरा पैर को.
म्यूट योर माइक.
अरे बस
म्यूट योर माइक. Second one is RF रिसीवर. कॉइल रहेंगे इसके ऊपर से, ठीक है. इसके अंदर यहाँ पर सैंपल लेंगे स्ट्रॉन्ग मैग्नेटिक. अब ये रेडियो फ्रीक्वेंसी जो यहाँ पे रिसीवर रहेगा, दैट विल रिसीव द एंड इट विल बी वीक इन नेचर, सो इट विल बी सेंट टू एम्पलीफायर एंड दैट विल बी ड्राइंग ए स्पेक्ट्रा on a paper through a motor and pen. So in that way, it is the block diagram of an NMR instrument. Now, once you will get here spectra, then you have to analyze it. So you have to interpret the NMR spectra. So you will look after the spectra in 4 terms. Spectra you will get here, that will be analyzed. तो इसके अंदर आपको 4 चीजें देखनी पड़ेगी. एक तो रहेगा that is called as position of NMR signal. जो यहाँ पर NMR सिग्नल मिलेगा, सिग्नल NMR सिग्नल, इसकी पोजीशन. नंबर सेकेंड, नंबर ऑफ NMR signals. थर्ड पॉइंट जो आपको देखना है इसमें है तो पीक एरिया, या फिर जिसको बोलेंगे हम इंटेंसिटीज, और इट इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज हाइट ऑफ द सिग्नल्स. एंड फोर्थ वन इज splitting pattern, so that we can analyze or interpret a NMR spectra. So in our next lecture we will see how to interpret NMR spectra. इसमें कोई डिफिकल्टी है? Peak area or intensities, peak intensity, or it is called as also called as height of the signal. In general हम बोलेंगे उसको height of the signal या उसको peak area, या फिर उसको बोलेंगे intensities. ठीक है, peak intensities.